to my channel. So today I am talking about my eyebrow tattoo experience. For those of you that are part of my Instagram family, even my Facebook family, you would know that I recently had my lips and my eyebrows tattooed on the same day. I was lucky enough to be able to take my camera in and vlog the experience, the procedure itself, the consultation, and also document all of the aftercare and just the healing process. So I'm going to be having 2 vlogs, this being one of them for my eyebrows, and I've got another one for my lips coming out very soon as well. So if you guys want to see that, then check it out. Pretty much documented as much as I can. This is going to be quite a long video, and at the end of the video I'm going to be answering your questions regarding the procedure. What was the pain like? What was the healing like? How did I find the person to go to trust with my eyebrows? To start off with, I went to Thistle and Rose in Subiaco in Perth. I'd been following her work for such a long time on Instagram, like a crazy stalker, and finally decided, right, I'm gonna do it. This is gonna be my push present. I'm just gonna get it done. And oh my gosh, like honestly, I wish I had it done years ago, because it's been absolutely incredible. So why don't we just jump right into the vlog. I vlogged from the very start of the process. All right, rainbows. Today is the day. Say goodbye to these eyebrows. Oh yes. I am so excited. Oh my gosh. So today feels like it's been in the works for such a long time. I'm finally getting my eyebrows tattooed, and I am also getting my lips tattooed as well. Hazel's excited. Look at her. Look at her. Hey, gorgeous girl. My eyebrows are my push present, basically. I think everyone should get a push present. Yes, Hazel's a present, of course, but I want a push present. Firstly, wanted to say, like, gosh, I could quite happily live the rest of my life without having my eyebrows or lips tattooed. I'm not doing this because it's an insecurity thing. I'm doing this just because I thought, why the hell not? It's gonna be fun and experience, and probably save me a lot of time, because with little Hazelnut, I very rarely get to put makeup on, and I'm like this 24/7. And doing my eyebrows is probably the longest part of my makeup routine. So if I can save a lot of time, or even look, you know, a little bit more, I don't know the word for it, but I feel like not having much eyebrows just really, I feel like more complete even if I just have eyebrows done, you know what I mean? Anyway, these are pretty much my natural brows, but I've been growing them out for a very long time. They grow, but in really strange places. Like, who wants eyebrow hairs like down here? Like, seriously, what is that? This has always been my better brow, like the one that's easier to fill in. And then there's this one, which is just like the ugly twin, honestly. I wouldn't say twin, they're like next door neighbors. This is pretty much how they are now. So Emma was absolutely incredible. The whole consultation was so thorough and just amazing. Not only did she explain what was going to be happening, but she explained how it was going to happen and why things happened that specific way.
This is a diagram of the skin. The skin has got 3 layers. The epidermis, the dermis, and the subcutaneous being the 3 layers. We stay in the epidermis and the dermis, and in fact we try and stay in the top third of the dermal layer anyway, so it's quite shallow. When we look at the top layer being the epidermis, the 5 layers within itself, that's what we can feel, the very top layer of that, and they're all really dry, and as they mature they come up, 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 up. In about 4 weeks time they're actually going to slough off the top, and that's your natural exfoliation process. For example, a young person's turnover might be 3 to 4 weeks if they're a teenager, whereas an 80-year-old might be 4 months. If I tattooed into there, it's gone in 4 weeks. So today we're going to aim to put our needles into here, so it's a little bit longer than tattooing every month. So here's my needle coming in. So we're going to make that wound, implant pigment where we should. Now your pigment's going to go all over the surface today. Remember when you get your body tattoos and they white? Well, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to be wiping all of that off. So tonight you'll find that maybe some of it might still be on there, and it might come on your pillowcase. So if you can just have clean pillowcase, but making sure that you've got one that's really old, so you don't really care about.
I always bring my own pillow.
Do you?
I love my pillow.
A nice clean one. Pigment that's implanted in the skin, we don't know how long it's going to last. Everyone is so different, and we just can't judge. But we can judge a rough gauge. We can roughly gauge when you come back, and that's in about 12 months time. Now today you're also going to have pigment going there, but because the needles are going there, the bruising happens there as well. So bruising is underneath there. So it's seen as colour. It's seen as like swollen or big. So it makes your brows look bigger today than what they'll end up to be.
No problem.
So no panicking.
No worries.
So all of this is open wound, and that pigment is now exposed to the air. So that's oxidizing like a banana. Yellow goes to brown when it's open. Between days 1 and 3, your open wounds are forming that seal or that crust over. And between days 3 to day 7, that crust is going to start to lift off. And between 7 to 10, sometimes 7 to 14 days, it's all gone.
Sweet.
And at the same time, in about 2 weeks, you have all of this collagen and elastin sealing around the pigment. So that locks it in, so it's going to hold it there. So today it's way too dark, but in 2 weeks time it will then make it look too light. And in 4 weeks time this becomes a bit more transparent, a bit more settled. So we say just right. I just like to firstly say that Cosmetic Tattoo is not a replacement for makeup. This is a base under the skin.
Awesome.
We're makeup wearers, we like to have fresh topical brows. So if we have topical makeup, we're used to seeing that. This is much more muted under the skin. So it's a base that we can wake up with makeup, basically. And the other things I'd like to say is that we never use this as a substitute for tinting and waxing. Because I'm not permanently removing and I'm not permanently colouring it. So you still need to do those sorts of things.
It was amazing. I mean, I knew a tiny little bit about like the skin and stuff from being a hairdresser, but it was amazing. And I love, you know, I love the nitty gritty kind of stuff. I love knowing this is why you do something a certain way. So for me, that was absolutely incredible. Like the whole consultation, I don't know how long it went for, maybe like half an hour, an hour. Like it was extremely in-depth and amazing. So after she kind of explained the whole procedure and exactly what would happen, she talked to me about the different styles of tattoo. She offered quite a few different styles, not just microblading, but also powder brow, which is a little bit more full on, and then a combination of both of those.
Okay, so microblading is a technique where we use a microblade. It just looks like a pen with some needles at the end. And we dip it in pigment and we draw some hair strokes in the skin. So those hair strokes are going to mimic pretend hairs. So each hair stroke has got a gap between it. So it goes hair stroke, skin, hair stroke, skin. Now as these clean crisp hair strokes heal, they don't heal as nicely. They actually heal a bit fluffier. So it's going to make each one look a bit fatter and fluffier and more natural once it's come back. As we draw each hair stroke, we go into the skin shallow, deep, shallow. So those shallow bits, they're actually not deep enough in here to implant pigment. Today they look really long and you look like a big thick brow, but when you come back those bits shrunk off, so the brow actually then looks skinnier. But the machine is a different style. So let's go through that now. So of course we're going to have your beautiful shape drawn in, and then we're going to get our machine and it's buzzing bzzz, like this. And we're going to be shading in that whole background. And most people want an ombre brow, so ideally we're avoiding that. Now this machine style is putting more pigment into the skin. It takes the body a lot longer to digest. Therefore this lasts less long and this lasts more long. Alright, now just to throw a spanner in the works, some people want this and this. And they're like not too sure, so they want a combination. When we kind of only do about 2/3 of the way along in strokes, and then we get that back 2/3, and we shade the back third only, and then the middle third we blend over as well, just so it doesn't start and stop.
So many options. Well, I'm happy to like go with what you think as well, because I am liking the sound of the last one.
You do?
But it's always been the tail that I've never really
problems
had.
with.
And it's just kind of been a pain, but I'm pretty happy to do with what you recommend as well. So originally I had set in my head doing a combination, so microblading, and then at the end where my tail of my brow is, going in with the machine tattoo and doing it a little bit like more intense. Emma was incredible. She explained to me that the machine gives it a little bit more of a warm reflect, where the microblading gives you a little bit more of a cooler tone. So she said the best thing for me would be to microblade throughout and then go back in with the machine and like fill in, you know, the outer sparse areas of my brows.
Okay, and you've got blue, yeah, blue eyes. And what's your natural hair color? Is this what I can see at the roots?
Yeah.
In that case, I feel what we're gonna need to do is we're gonna need to microblade throughout. When you use the microblading tool, it heals cooler. Yeah. And when you use the machine, it heals more true, more neutral to warmer.
Yeah.
We still give you a cool ashy brow.
Yeah.
But slightly, the colors change slightly with the different styles.
Yeah.
So if I was to do this, then you've got cool to more neutral. Okay. Whereas if I did this throughout and then came through and gave a heavier tail, then I think we'd have a nicer color.
Okay, so after the consultation, what she did was have a good look at my eyebrows. She actually did a wax, did a tint, and then started to measure out my brows. One of my eyebrows was actually higher than the other, and the other was a little bit lower. Throughout the consultation, like, I filled out all the forms and said exactly what I wanted in my brows. I said I wanted a cool tone, I didn't want any kind of warm tones, and I wanted to have a visible arch. Now, she explained the difference to me, because I've always just thought arch is an arch. An arch is from the lower portion of your brow, how high that is, and pitch is how high the top part is. So I said I wanted to increase the pitch of my brow and just leave the arch as it was. So I had it just a little bit higher to give my eyebrows more of that kind of pitch. After she was, you know, happy with the design, I had a good look. We also picked out some color. So she mixed up what she thought. She kind of dabbed it on my forehead and I could actually see what color it was going to be, and loved it, loved it. She did that at this stage because I was going to be having my eyelashes lifted. So basically when it came to choosing the color, my eyes would be closed. So she wanted to do it early. She did it with the lip color as well, just so I could see it before, you know, my eyes were closed for the period of time having them lifted. Then I went in and I put the anesthetic on my brows.
Oh, sexy.
Just let that settle in and do its job. Then it came to the actual procedure. And I honestly have to say a huge thank you to Brooke as well, who works at Thistle and Rose, for her awesome camera skills, because she just got the best angle. Because having it on the tripod, and I had it up holding it for a while, and my arms. So it was just, yeah, awesome. She went in and basically started the procedure. And this is a question that you guys have asked a lot. I will be answering it again, I guess, but it did not hurt in the slightest. The worst part for me, I reckon, was the sound. I didn't actually think too much about the sound of the procedure, but there was actual sound, like cutting through leather. It's kind of scary referring to my skin as leather, but you could actually hear like the slices, and it was like, oh God. Like, it's weird, I'm not squeamish with blood or anything like that, but like that sound, I was like, oh. So the actual whole microblading portion of it didn't actually take that long. Like, obviously the consultation, marking everything out, measuring everything, took a little bit longer than the actual microblading procedure, I felt. I wasn't, you know, keeping track of the time or anything, but it seemed to be relatively quick. And after that, they basically wiped away the excess pigment and I could see my brows, and oh my gosh, the transformation, incredible. Like, I wish I got this done so much longer ago, and oh, I'm just in love. Like, the whole rest of the day I was just like, oh yes, look at my brows. Having the microblading done, like we all looked at it and we're like, oh my God, it's incredible. Like we hadn't even got to the machine tattoo part and we were just in love with the microblading and we were both like, oh my gosh. And then, you know, the decision was, do we continue on with the machine or do we just leave it how it is? And I was like, oh, I don't know. The only thing is, once you do the machine, you can't take it back. So I decided to stay just with the microblading on its own. It was just gorgeous and so beautiful. And I do have a follow-up appointment 8 weeks after my initial appointment. So she said, if you feel at that appointment that you want to change styles and want to go for, you know, the combination, then we can do it at that appointment and it's no problem at all. At this stage, I haven't had my follow-up appointment yet, but I'm still thinking I'm just going to stick with the microblading because it's just gorgeous. I just love it so much. So now I'll kind of go through the healing process with you. I did document pretty much most days the healing process. Bear in mind that I had just had my lips tattooed as well. So yeah. Oh my God. So I just got home from having this done. I can't really move my lips. Just put some fresh cream on them and on my brows as well. My brows feel fine. Like they don't feel sore or anything at all. But yeah, I'm absolutely exhausted. On the car on the way home, I felt a bit sick just because I don't think I'd drunk enough water today and it's just been a big day. So yeah, I'm keen to go to bed. All right, so in terms of eyebrows, firstly, as you guys know, I got my brows and lips done, so I'm going to pan down and show you guys my full face, but my lips are extremely swollen at the moment. I do have a whole vlog all on my lip tattoo journey, so if you want to know more about that, make sure you watch that particular video. But today we're just talking about the eyebrows. So hi. So it has almost been 24 hours since I had my lips and brows tattooed. Eyebrows have been really good. I haven't felt any pain at all. They've just been amazing. Like they haven't really felt super dry or anything like that. When I kind of, you know, go like this, I can obviously feel them. The color is a little bit darker today, which I know was going to happen. Like they always do get a bit darker. But I'm still absolutely loving them, loving the shape, all that jazz, and keeping up with the creams and stuff, all the aftercare that I was given from Thistle and Rose. So yeah, loving it. I'll zoom you guys in. So yeah, I think they're still looking freaking amazing. I find definitely like I don't have to put as much cream on my brows as I do my lips. My lips need a lot more, like more frequently. But yeah, no, they're feeling great. I'm really happy with them, and yeah, we'll just keep on seeing how they go. All right, this is day 2. They're probably a little bit darker again today than they were yesterday. They've been feeling amazing. I've obviously still been keeping up with the cream and everything, keeping them moist. They feel a little bit tight kind of when I move them, but other than that, like they're amazing. I haven't really had any scabbing or anything yet, but yeah, I'm absolutely loving how it's going. Okay, so it is day 4. I didn't do an update yesterday. There wasn't really much that had changed. I have had a fair bit of kind of breakouts, I think just from excess cream kind of getting in between here. I don't know how, because obviously I don't put it in there, but my skin's kind of been just breaking out a little bit, but that is okay. I haven't had any scabbing or anything yet happen on my brows. I've still been keeping up with the cream. They are still a little bit dark, but that is completely fine. But yeah, this is how they're looking. They feel fine. Still probably a little bit tight because they haven't scabbed. But yeah, other than that, they are gone strong. Okay, so day 5. So brows, still not peeling yet. I'm getting lots of pimples. I've tried not to get the eyebrows wet. I've been lazy, I haven't been cleansing my face. They have been feeling really itchy as well. So definitely the healing process is well on its way. But yeah, loving it. All right, so day 6, post brows, post lips. Still doing amazingly. They're starting to be quite itchy. They're still kind of feeling a bit tight. I haven't scabbed yet, but yeah, they're doing really, really well. I am loving them. Even today, like I put makeup on and just the fact, just the fact, Lee's getting Hazel dressed. Just the fact that, you know, I didn't have to worry about doing my brows was just amazing. Oh, you got my thumb. No, thank you. Yucky. Oh, and Lee's hole in his pants. So day 7, I had to film a video today, which I didn't really want to do because I just wanted to try and minimize the makeup, but oh well. Eyebrows. Yeah, I don't think really that much has changed. They're still kind of feeling a little bit itchy, a tiny bit tight. Nothing has kind of scabbed off them. But yeah, other than that, I think they're doing pretty good. So yeah. Alright, so today has officially been 2 weeks since having my eyes and lips done, and it is pretty much the first time that I've done a full face of makeup, including filling in my brows and product on my lips. I am loving it, honestly. Like, my brows took 2 seconds to fill in. They've never really kind of scabbed at all, my brows. I think they'd pretty much be 100% healed now, and they never really fully scabbed. Obviously, I kept up with the product, the aftercare and everything like that, and they just, you know, seem to kind of heal pretty much all right just on their own. I'm really happy about that. I just realized my microphone's not plugged in, but it's all right. Loving it, loving life, yes. Now it's time to answer your questions. Firstly, I wanted to direct you to the Thistle and Rose website. I will have it linked in the description box below because she has a whole list and lots of information on frequently asked questions, eligibility of having cosmetic tattoos. So definitely head down there, check it out, and I think she's a lot more better at explaining things than I am. But hopefully that, you know, will answer some of your questions. The most common question was, did it hurt? For me, no, not at all. I have 16 tattoos. It felt very different to a actual tattoo because she was using a micro needle in a way. So it's like, almost like a little scalpel in a way. So they make little slices and incisions and then, you know, rub the pigment into those areas. I think I'm saying that correctly. So it was very different to an actual tattoo machine. Before she started the procedure as well, she showed me, like, she had fresh needles and just said, you know, these are the ones we'll be using. So all in the packaging and everything like that. So I feel like I have a new pain scale since having Hazel. So for me, from, you know, 0 to childbirth, it was a 1. Like, it was not painful in the slightest at all. I used to think I had a really high pain tolerance, but after having Hazel, I'm like, I don't have any pain tolerance. But I don't know, like, for me, I didn't think it hurt a lot, but I did ask Emma and Brooke as well and said, you know, do other people think it doesn't hurt? And she said, you know, they've had other people that have found it quite painful. So like, everyone's pain threshold is really different. As I said, I didn't think I had much of a pain threshold, but I don't know. It didn't really hurt at all. That anesthetic is amazing. Another one about pain. How would I describe the pain of the brow procedure? So it is, I guess, kind of like a paper cut in a way. Maybe not as stingy as what a paper cut is, but it is like a slow little slice through your skin. But the anesthetic for me worked really well, and honestly, it didn't really hurt at all. It was probably the same pain as getting an eyebrow wax, or even like plucking. It could feel like plucking in a way. I think plucking is more painful than an eyebrow wax. The next most frequently asked question I get is, how long do they last? So as you guys kind of saw in the consultation part, it is really hard to tell. So microblading does not last as long as what a powder brow or machine brow lasts. Because there is less pigment being put into the skin, it's quicker for your skin to kind of eat that pigment away. So they do not last as long. She could not give me a definite date. She said basically when I go back for my touch-up appointment in 8 weeks' time, she'll be able to give me more of a definite answer of how long they'll last. If you look on Google, they say 5 to 10 years for cosmetic tattoos, but that may be different for microblading. She does also recommend that you have like an annual appointment, yearly appointment, that you go back in and just get everything retouched and refreshed, just so you always have magical, amazing brows. Another question is how much time did the procedure last? I will go back through my footage. I don't know if I recorded the whole procedure, but to me, I think it was like 15 minutes each brow, if that. Like, it seemed incredibly fast. I was really relaxed and chilled out by that stage. And yeah, it just seemed to be really, really quick. Like, the longer portion of it was marking everything out, measuring things, the consultation itself. For the whole procedures that I was there for, I remember I had my lips tattooed, eyebrows tattooed, eyelash lift, and the consultation, as well as like me filming and moving the camera. I was there for about 5 hours. The next question is, which hurt worse, your brows or your lips? Definitely the lips. So another one, does it hurt as much as a permanent tattoo? So definitely not at all. I felt the lips were more similar to a permanent tattoo in a way, because they do use more of the machine. So maybe if I did have the powder in with the machine, it might felt like that as well. But I still think, you know, I've had like my elbow and my ribs and my Achilles tattooed, and I still think that was probably more painful than this, or similar to the lips probably. Another question I got asked a fair bit is, how did I end up picking where I went? Like, there's so many people that do the procedure, how did I know who to trust? And I'm trying to remember how I actually stumbled across. In all honesty, I can't remember the exact moment that I stumbled across their Instagram or their website. I think it may have been on Instagram, or it may have even been Google. It feels like I've been following them for quite a while. But I remember I was just searching for microblading in Perth, cosmetic tattooing, eyebrows, Perth, and it came up, and I was like, oh, okay. And then obviously, you know, I do the normal thing. I go to Instagram and look at their work, and I was blown away. Incredible. And ever since then, you know, I followed them straight away, kept seeing their amazing work popping up on my Instagram, and I was like, I need this done. So yeah, that's pretty much how it happened. I guess if you guys are looking for a cosmetic tattooist, the main thing I guess I can recommend is make sure they're qualified, make sure you have a look at their portfolio, look at their work, make sure you actually like their work. And when you're at the appointment, you know, you want to have a decent consultation. You don't want to be in and out within half an hour. You need to make sure that they're really explaining things correctly to you, that they take the time to mark everything out correctly, and they're patient, because this is this is on your face. So just make sure you feel comfortable throughout, and yeah. I am still currently breastfeeding. Oh. And I know probably a lot of people are like, oh my God, you can't get tattooed when you're breastfeeding. So it depends on where you go, what the artist requires, and what the studio you're going to requires. So for Emma Rose, she said, definitely not recommended for when you are pregnant. It's not either recommended when you're breastfeeding. If you do wish to have it done when you're breastfeeding, you need to get a doctor's note of clearance. So I went to my doctor, and I spoke to my doctor and said, look, this is what I'm having done. I'm having my lips and my eyebrows done. I'm still breastfeeding. What are the risks? What do you recommend? Is it possible? Can I, you know, get a note? And she didn't actually really know. So she called one of the main hospitals down in Perth, I think King Edward, I don't know, one of the hospitals. She spoke to the leading person there that deals with all the pharmaceuticals and just everything like that. Obviously deal with a lot of breastfeeding patients down in hospital. And what he said was, women that are having MRIs and have to have the contrast dye can easily go and have the MRI with the contrast dye and still breastfeed. That is a whole lot more dye than what I obviously was going to be having on the day. What they recommend is just pump and dump once after having the MRI, and then you're safe to breastfeed. So they said to me, recommend to pump and dump once after having the procedure, and then you're safe to breastfeed after that. The next thing was the anesthetic. So obviously, you know, there are concerns with the dye, there's concerns with infection and things like that, having to go on antibiotics. And the next one obviously is with anesthetic. She said to me the anesthetic's not a problem at all, because you can safely go and have fillings done, you can have a local anesthetic, you can have a general anesthetic, and still be safe to breastfeed if you pump and dump once. Judging by that, she gave me the clearance. She said, you're all sweet. I took my pump with me with my batteries. As soon as I had the procedure done in the car on the way home, I'm in the backseat pumping. And I, you know, as soon as we got out, I was able to give Hazel a feed, and She was fine. It didn't, you know, she didn't get sick. She didn't have a bellyache or anything like that. She wasn't drowsy or, you know, she was absolutely fine. So there's definitely no way I'd ever do something to put Hazel at risk. Oh, you dribbled that everywhere. And obviously we closely monitored her. There was no chance of anything happening. Otherwise I wouldn't have done it. But yeah, I had a whole heap of frozen breast milk ready to go as well. But she's really fussy with a bottle. So yeah, and yeah, it all ended up okay. In saying that as well, I just want to clarify that if you don't feel comfortable with it, or your doctor says no or whatever, just, you know, I'm not saying that you should go out and do it. You have to do what you feel comfortable with as well. Here's another one. How long will your brows last before you need them redone? So I did mention that when you book your original appointment, you need to book a follow-up appointment at the same time, 6 to 8 weeks after your initial. So it has been pretty much a month since having my eyebrows done, and I've got a few more weeks till I go back for my touch-up. And that way, in that appointment, she will just touch up any areas that might not have taken as well or might be a little bit patchy, and just make sure that everything's still looking gorgeous. Then after that, it's yearly if you want to, you know, maintain them. Next one, how much did it cost? So I paid Grubby Bubby. Yeah. Oh, that is so freaking cute. Oh God. Initial brow appointment, it was $600 plus $30 for the aftercare that was given to me that I take home and use on my brows. At the same time, you do need to book, as I said, for your follow-up appointment, which she charges $150 for a follow-up. That's if you're going to be having the same microblading technique. If you want to swap to the powder brows at your follow-up appointment, then it's an additional $100. Now, I just want to do a big clarification that this is what I paid. Obviously, with inflation and things like that, just generally people are different. I don't know if it's the same price for every single microblading or if it's different depending on the brows or depending if someone's had previous work done. I have no idea how it works. So I do suggest that you email Thistle and Rose and ask them. When I made my first initial appointment, I needed to send in photos of my brows of how they looked so she could give me a kind of clearer, I guess, quote in a way. So this is just saying, you know, what I paid. So. So another question, what do I plan to do if my opinion changes on the style, shape or color? I haven't actually thought too much about that because I feel like I picked quite a natural shape and a natural color, you know, very, very similar to my own natural brow color. And the shape, obviously the pitch was a little bit higher, but I still feel like it's not overly like exaggerated or extreme. You are saturated. I'm gonna have to get you changed. She's saturated. So I think at this stage, I honestly don't think my thoughts will change on it. Of course, the great thing about the microblading is I can still definitely go in with powders and pomade and fill it in. So if I decide to do my hair black tomorrow and my eyebrows are way too light, I can still go in and fill them in and the shape and everything is still there. And honestly, it's a million times faster to do my eyebrows now than it was before. Hey, let's get you changed. It takes like 30 seconds to fill my brows in when it used to be half an hour. So they are pretty much all of the questions regarding my eyebrow procedure. I honestly cannot recommend Thistle and Rose enough. They were so professional, so sweet and nice from the get-go, from even just my first initial email to them throughout the whole procedure, and then even following up with me and just saying, you know, how are they going and stuff like that. So they've been absolutely incredible and I've had just the best experience with them. So definitely highly recommend them. If you guys are in Perth looking for a good artist and you're not sure and you don't know who to trust, go and see them. Honestly, amazing. So thank you rainbows so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video. I do have my lip tattoo video out as well, so check that out if you guys want the lowdown on me having my lips tattooed. And yeah, I love you guys. I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.